I'm a pastry chef on an island in Maine, and this is everything I did at work today. I started the morning by getting out some frozen pastries from the freezer. These will be baked off tomorrow. Next, I mixed up the pre-ferment for my croissant dough. This is basically like a sourdough starter, but with commercial yeast. Then I hopped into some rhubarb cutting and poaching. These are gonna be paired with some vanilla bean pastry cream on our seasonal Danish. Next, I got started on some frosting for a plated dessert that I'm working on. While that mixed up, I got my poached rhubarb out of the poaching liquid and set them all up for tomorrow morning. Then I started assembling my cake. This is going to be tasted at our meeting that we're having in a minute. On the bottom, it is a lemon olive oil cake, and then that frosting that I just made topped with some rhubarb jam. The jam was a little bit thicker and a little bit darker than I like, but that is why we do a test. I did 2 layers of everything, and then I topped it with a little bit of olive oil and then did a little olive oil swoop around the plate, and I think it looked absolutely gorgeous. And the only notes that I got were that we all wanted the rhubarb to be a little bit bigger and not in a jam, in like a compote instead. Then I assembled a test of my rhubarb Danish. These are going to be square, so you just have to imagine that. We all loved them and they will be on the menu tomorrow. Then it was time to get into my laminating for the day. I only had 2 books, so this was short and sweet. Next, I made a huge batch of vanilla bean pastry cream for the Danish filling. And then I got working on my croissant dough for today. This is what that pre-ferment looks like after 4 hours. It is nice and bubbly and ready to go. And then I did some croissant shaping. This is one of my favorite things that I get to do every day. I just absolutely love shaping croissants. It is so therapeutic to me, and I just love the repetition and how they all come out exactly the same. My second book of dough was those Danish that I was talking about, and so this is me cutting them into perfect squares and then punching down the middles like I did with those circular Danishes as well. I feel like now you can see my vision with the rhubarb batons, and that was it. See you tomorrow.